Hey guys, I was sadly interrupted, so this is going to be an unexpected part 2 to my Blu-ray Mash part 4. Yeah, I didn't mean this to happen. This is an unexpected part 2. It's still Blu-ray Mash part, I don't remember. I think it's part 4 or 5. It's still Blu-ray Mash part 4 or 5. I can't remember whatever it is. I'll find out when I'm editing this. I'll try to edit them together, but if I can't, it'll just be part 2. It's still gonna be part 4 or 5. I can't remember the numbers. I don't. So, where were we? Scream Factory, awesome company. I love them. They make the best horror movie Blu-rays. They're made for horror fans by horror fans, and I love them. They're a great company. I should probably review the Fall Blu-ray, although I've had that for so long I don't feel like going over it again. But I just got Day of the Dead. Now, if you're a fan of horror movies, or especially zombie movies, you know who George Romero is. Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead. I mean, this man, right there, two of the most influential zombie movies ever made, and two of the most influential horror films ever made. And they're great. Night of the Living Dead, the black and white cinematography, the, just, what else? Crude special effects. I mean, yeah, there's very little special effects in Night of the Living Dead, but the special effects they have in are just so revolutionary for 1968 and really pushed the horror genre. And for the time, it was easily the most shocking movie ever made. I mean, people eating flesh and the whole zombie apocalypse thing, and like the scene where the little girl kills her family. Spoiler alert, by the way. It's easily the most shocking film in 1968, and it's one of the best and one of my favorite horror movies ever made. I mean, God, Night of the Living Dead. I'm not even gonna talk about it. It's just so influential. And Dawn of the Dead, I could probably talk for three. I could probably talk for like 5 hours about Dawn of the Dead. Just how great it is. I mean, the special effects. I mean, the gore. Yes, the gore looks incredibly fake. But you know what? Honestly, that's one of my favorite parts about it, the fact that it looks so fake and it's so bright. The fact the zombies look. I mean, Dawn of the Dead is just great film. So, I love those two movies. I was very anxious to watch Day of the Dead, George Romero's third installment in the Dead trilogy. George Romero's third installment in the Dead trilogy. Uh, in the Dead trilogy, and I can easily say this was the first time I saw this movie. This is my favorite George Romero zombie movie. Right here, everyone. Day of the Dead. Favorite George Romero zombie movie. Right here. Yeah. Bitches. This is a great. I never seen this before. I was very anxious to see this. A little afraid too, because I was like, there's no way this can live up to Dawn of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead. I saw some very mixed reviews. And I love this movie. This was not a lot of mixed reviews. I mean, today there's much less mixed reviews than there are back then. When this movie came out, this movie flopped when it came out. Like, it just flopped on its ass and died. It just flopped on its ass and didn't even have a chance. Box office failure, critical failure. But then over the years, opinions have definitely changed, and this has been considered to be one of the greatest zombie movies ever made, if not the greatest. And I think this is the greatest zombie movie ever made, personally. And this movie is amazing. I love this movie. This is easily the best zombie movie I've ever seen. I've said that like already like 5 times, but it's just so amazing. I love this movie. I mean, the special effects. I mean, the acting, and this is by far the best acting in any of the Dead films, by the way. The acting, the effects, the setting, the story. What's the story? Okay, so basically you have a group of survivors who are part of this couple of scientists, couple of military, and a military operation to find a cure for the zombie apocalypse. And that's all I'm really gonna say, because really the plot is very hectic, and because of that I can't really describe it that well. Trust me, if I try to, I'll fail miserably. So just see the movie for yourself, because I can't really describe its plot. It's just an amazing film. Much like The Omen, this has become one of my favorite horror movies of all time. So, got pretty lucky, actually, that two films I picked up towards the end of Halloween ended up becoming two of my favorite horror movies. The Omen and Day of the Dead. Both of these are two of my favorite horror movies of all time. I don't know what position they're in, but they're definitely very high up there. Kind of ironic, I'm glad. But, these were definitely great buys. So, picture quality. The picture quality in this looks absolutely amazing. Looks a billion, bajillion, bazillion times better than the previous Blu-ray release of Day of the Dead, which looked horrible, by the way, and avoided like the plague. if you're smart. If you're smart, avoid it like the plague. But this new Blu-ray release is just amazing. This one was digitally remastered again. This is by far the best that Day of the Dead has ever looked. Just a great all-around release. And the cover art by Nathan Thomas Miller this is Screen Factory. They get their own like sort of artists to do the cover arts for their movies. This one's Nathan Thomas Miller. The cover art's amazing. It's very comic booky, which I like about it. Just a great release. I love this release. So special features, I guess, because we have enough time with the special features. We have a new high definition transfer, a new documentary. Keep an eye on this. World's End: The Legacy of Day of the Dead. A new documentary by George Romero, and this documentary. It's so good that it's worth picking up this release for that special feature alone. That's all I'm going to say. I do not want to spoil it because it's a really good documentary. Audio commentary with writer-director George A. Romero, special makeup effects artist Tom Savini, production designer Cletus Anderson, and actress Laurie Cardell. Behind-the-scenes footage from special makeup effects artist Tom Savini's archives, photo galleries, theatrical trailers, TV spots, and more. So definitely check this out, everyone. Great release. So there's the cover art again from Nathan Thomas Miller. Great cover art. I love this. There's Bub. Bub is, by the way, my favorite zombie, and not just in a George Romero zombie film, but in any zombie film. I love Bub. I'm not gonna spoil who he is because he's a great character. Here it is. It's fun. Now there actually was a slipcover with this, but I bought this at Barnes and Noble. And Barnes and Noble doesn't usually put the slipcover on their things. So this does come with a slipcover. But Barnes & Noble, I bought this at Barnes & Noble. They don't usually have slipcovers on their Blu-rays, so this is how it came. It still looks very good, though. There's Bub again. Pack, special features. Look. There's the disc there, with Bub on it. Bub. He's my favorite zombie. And some reversible cover art, which I'll do for you in a sec, because it actually looks really cool. The reversible cover art's actually the original theatrical poster. So, I kind of want to surprise you. Yeah, it's really cool, actually. The Screen Factory Collector's Editions do these a lot. So anyway, here is the reversible cover art, which is the original theatrical poster. I always like this theatrical poster, like Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and the Day of the Dead. Yeah. Personally, I prefer the new cover art more, but still. Just a great release. I'm glad they let you do that. So if you're someone who loves the original theatrical poster, you can definitely put that up. So yeah. So thank you guys for joining me. For joining me with this Blu-ray mash. 2 great titles. If you haven't picked these up yet, I know Halloween's over, but if you're still in the mood for horror movies, definitely pick these 2 up if you haven't. Check them out, and I'll see you soon. GTA 5 review. I can't sadly do it. Something happened with my copy of GTA 5, so I can't even do a review on it. So that's gonna be. I don't think I'm gonna be doing one. I may do a review of Assassin's Creed 4 though. Maybe I may do a review of Assassin's Creed 4 though, which I'm really excited to do. So I'll see you later. Happy November. Have a great time. Tomorrow's election day, and make sure you vote. Bye.